Tune in to the newest season of Hunt Club with Philip Culpepper on Waypoint TV. Experience the highs, lows, and extreme fun of hunting the southern turkey woods every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Waypoint TV. Don't miss My World with Mike Iaconelli as he spends a day on the water and in the world of some of the best professional athletes Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Waypoint TV.
Welcome to the Woman Angler and Adventurer Podcast, inspiring real women with a passion for fishing in the outdoors to go get their adventure on. Now, here's your host, Master Captain Angie Scott.
Hey everyone, this is Angie Scott with the Woman Angler and an Adventurer Podcast. Just wrapped up the 2023 LBAA Classic on Bull Shoals Lake. That's a 3-day tournament. So I'm sure everybody's exhausted at this point from practice to the tournament. But I'm going to give you guys a little recap of how everything went. And I'm sitting here on the back porch of Craig and Jennifer LaPointe's house, overlooking the beautiful Bull Shoals Lake. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'll share a photo just so you can see the view on the website for this episode. But Craig and Jennifer are the owners of Anchor Point Resort, which was the tournament headquarters for this classic. It's the second time we've been there. We got to fish it last year in June. So it was, I believe, our wild card tournament last year. And quite a different lake, I have to say, from last year, because it was about 30 foot flooded. And this time around, it's actually a little bit low. So pretty much a totally different experience for me. I'm just going to kind of give you an overview from my perspective, and then I'm going to talk about how it went for some of the other ladies who won, who came in second place, and so forth. So Craig is here with me now, so he may chime in. So anyway, practice, this is a longer practice than what we normally get. So you get a little bit more time to try to figure out what's going on. I came here thinking, I don't know, time of year, it's October. We might be getting into a fall pattern at least. I get on the lake and I see the water temperature is like 82 degrees. But I started my practice with Lori Povasol from Two Chicks in a Boat. That was really fun. It was the first time I ever get to fish with Lori because she is normally a boater. But this time around, she was asked if she would mind going as a co, and she did. So that helped us out to make sure we had the right number of anglers. But so Lori and I get out there. I start, kind of fishing some what would be a fall pattern, like going to the backs of coves. Kind of messed me up a little bit because I started having some luck on docks in the backs of coves. So I'm starting to think docks. And so I'm marking all the docks, and trying that. But what I was catching they were all short fish. I wasn't getting the quality. And so then we started hitting points. Secondary points seemed to be working pretty well. Main lake points. For me, the bigger fish were all coming on craw baits like Texas rigged, soft plastics, or jigs. And so that's pretty much what I stuck with the entire time. Then I started hitting some bluff walls that had the timber, and those were doing pretty good too. So I felt pretty confident going into the first day of the tournament that I, kind of figured out what I was gonna target. And first day was pretty rough. Well, let me think. It's hard to think about each day. I had Diane Williams with me. We had a little bit of rain in the morning. It wasn't near as bad as what we were all prepared for. So we thought it was going to be a washout all day long, and it really wasn't the case. We ran up to the Theodosia Arm that day, but we tried some top water in the morning. Had a couple blow-ups, but they were pretty small. So then we hit this pocket, and I think that's where I got my first keeper closer to the point. And then I was like, all right, let's run up to Theodosia. I spent a lot of time up there in practice, so I had some points and things I wanted to hit. It was a very, very, very slow day. I think I ended up with 2 keepers and Diane got 1. So we both got to cross the stage. We were happy with that. I was sitting in 13th going into day 2. Day 2, I had Renee Key Johnston, and we had a much better day. Day 2, I actually just stuck with the bluff walls with the timber all day. About once an hour, we would catch a keeper. I'm like, hey, I'll take it. 1 fish an hour. And that's pretty much what it did the rest of the day. It was fun. The Baxters and I think Larry and a couple other, Travis, our bump board guy, all were on a pontoon, and they came up to us, taking pictures and stuff. And Renee caught a fish while they were there. That was kind of cool. So ended up not being a keeper, though. It was short, but she forgot to check and see if it was a spot, because you can keep a 12-inch if it's spotted. She threw it back. But thankfully, she ended up with her limit anyway, and that one would have been called, so it didn't matter. But super fun day. It was a grind, but Renee ended up taking the lead on the co-angler side after that day, so I was pretty happy about that for her. I moved up 5 spots to 8th going into the final day, and so I ended up with Diane Williams again for day 3. I was really looking forward to, having a great day and maybe cashing a check in the Classic. I thought that would be so fun. So it started out, totally different conditions. The temperature dropped quite a bit that night. The wind was blowing pretty good from the north. Everything changed. So I tried that bluff wall pattern again. Didn't have anything. I mean, not even a bite. So I was like, yeah, this isn't holding up today. So let's move on to a different spot, hit some shallower water with buckbrush, and we started getting bites and fish. And I was like, okay, this is it. So we ran to a point that I had fished in practice that was very similar to where we were. There was another angler on it. There were like 2 other tournaments going on that day. So it was really challenging to find good spots that didn't already have boaters on it. So we kind of went way down around the corner, started fishing. That's where Diane lost a big one, unfortunately. She was reeling it in. I went to grab the net, but before she could get it to the boat, it came off. But then I got my 1 keeper fish in that same area. It seemed like they had just turned on real quick, and then it shut off, and we couldn't get anything the rest of the day. So unfortunately, didn't get to cash a check, but I did finish in 10th place and got a rod. So that was really cool. Linda Gessner had a great tournament. She actually fished this lake, I think the week before practice, or whenever, before off limits, I'm sure it was. But they had a tournament here, and it was incredibly hard. The fish are really in a transition period, and that's always a super challenging time to figure out anything. Linda figured out something real special, and I can share it with you because she shared it from the stage yesterday. But she found a pattern on these bluff walls where if she saw an area that had a washout, she would take her jig and just slowly drag it down the sides and the middle. And she said about 90% of the time she was catching fish on those very particular areas. The challenge with a 3-day tournament is, things change every day. And so she ended up having a very difficult day yesterday because everything changed, like I said, and she kind of had to scramble and try to find something else, and only ended up bringing in 2 fish, if that kind of tells you how tough day 3 was. But she still had enough weight to pull off the win, so congratulations to Linda Gessner. Second place was Terry Sindrick, our angler of the year. She had a fantastic year this year. Tennessee lady, so a fellow Tennessean, super happy to see her do so well. She figured out some new techniques on this tournament where she was actually using her live scope and targeting trees and drop shotting and catching fish off the trees. So super cool to see that, everybody was like finding something different. But, our typical winner of our tournaments, just to, again, give you an idea of how hard this was, Pam Martin Wells, did not cross the stage on day 3. Well, she did, but in a different way. She had this belt that they had made for her, and she brought it to weigh-in that day. But she actually zeroed, and I mean, is that like the second time in her career that she's zeroed?
It is. So only the second time that she admitted to, and the other time was also on Ozark Lake, one of her trips here. So she has a love-hate relationship with this area for sure.
Yeah, so, again, very, very difficult tournament. These are some fierce competitors, and I'm just happy, with my 10th place finish. But so I've got Craig here. Craig, if you want to give me kind of your perspective on the Classic.
Oh, absolutely. So first off, it was awesome seeing all the ladies back again at Bull Shoals. It's so neat to see all the different backgrounds and how all the ladies approach the lake differently with their respective backgrounds and how they feel their fishing strengths, are tailor-made to maybe certain techniques, and they can find usually those same techniques somewhere on a body of water such as Bull Shoals. But at the end, it really kind of played out almost like a textbook Ozark Lake, seminar. What we didn't talk about a little bit was that the pre-practice conditions were drastically different than the tournament conditions. So while all the anglers had ample time to look for the water that they were comfortable in, it was warm days with virtually no wind and high bluebird skies. And for most people, those are the days in an Ozark Clearwater fishery that can provide some of the more challenging days on the water. And so as the anglers got comfortable with those scenarios or those weather conditions, day one rolls around, as you mentioned, with rain and cloud and a little more wind. And then eventually by day 3, we were kind of back to that, bluebird skies, but then with wind. And so really it was a tournament of adjustments. It was also the first major cold front of the year. It was 80 degrees in practice. If not warmer, high 80s. And, day 3 at launch, we were in the mid 40s. And so that was really the first cold front. And I think as the textbooks and the magazines that we all read would tell us, in those changing conditions, the fish that can relate, I think, to the deep structure are more protected from that. And I think the results show that. So again, if you look at Pam Martin Wells, I think she also had the big fish of the tournament at a 425, 4 pound and a little over 4 pound largemouth. That I believe, if I understood the story correctly, probably came out of fairly shallow water. But at the end of the day, those fish, I think, dried up on her, that they just didn't replenish. Whereas the anglers that focused and grounded out on the bluffs or on the deeper trees, the structure, those fish weren't as affected by the fronts. And so while, yes, the bites weren't, fast and furious, those were the more predictable fish to find, and related to the structure a little bit easier to, give the anglers a chance at catching them. So, hindsight's 2020. Sometimes it's real easy to think about, as we look back, not in the heat of the moment or the heat of the tournament. But I really think that it's really kind of was textbook, that once everybody, kind of looks back at the tournament, I think that's really what'll stand out. And, while a grinder tournament is sometimes provides those challenges, at the end of the day, this is the championship tournament of the LBAA. So it's nice to see, the best anglers, really the cream rise to the top, so to speak. And I think that was the case here.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge, but, everyone, for me, and I'm sure all the other ladies would say the same thing, it's always a learning experience. And so you get to take these, a tournament with all these different conditions that we experience through practice in the tournament. And now we have all this knowledge that we learn throughout the week to take with us moving forward. And that's what I want to get into now.
I want to pause for a moment and give a quick shout out to my friends over at Stealth Rod Holders. They first caught my attention at ICAST a few years ago when they were showcasing their well-designed and strong quick-release rod holders made of glass-reinforced nylon. Their patented technology grips the rod handle, so no more fumbling with locking collars. This allows you to get that quick hook set and land your personal best. And if you buy the best rods like I do, I mean, St. Croix rods are the best rods on earth, you want to protect it with the best rod holder, which is hands down Stealth. And Stealth rod holders come with a lifetime warranty. Check them out at stealthrodholders.com.
I'm sure a lot of you listening to this podcast, you've heard me, talk over episodes previously this year after Secret and Cheryl made the announcement at our Palestine tournament, which was back in March, that they were going to be stepping down. They are the co-founders of the LBAA 13 years ago now. And, they're getting older. They're just tired of running it, which is understandable. It takes a lot of work to run something like this, and a lot of energy and time. In 13 years, that's a long time to have kept this thing going. And so we kind of were left not knowing what the future was going to hold. And really, I mean, there were rumors. Like Craig will say, it was the worst kept secret, but we kind of had an idea that somebody was going to be stepping in, and we didn't know, if it was completely changing hands or what. But we got a better idea at this tournament, and so now we can talk about it. We want to get the word out because we do have a future. And Craig, I'll let you kind of chime in on that.
Oh, absolutely. So we're proud to announce that myself and my family, along with Travis Birch and his family, will be taking, I say over with air quotes, the LBAA, and putting a lot of heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears into the brand of the LBAA and the efforts and tournaments, moving forward. And it's kind of a surreal experience in a way. If you had asked me, last year at this time, hey, would you be sitting on the porch of your house, speaking to the number one voted outdoor podcast about some of this stuff? The answer would be absolutely not. But yet here we are. So congratulations to you on that award. But a little bit about our journey here. Our family has had a love for the outdoors and kind of revolves around our activities revolve around the outdoors, whether it's the hiking, the trails, the fishing, the hunting. Our family is heavily involved in that. And I'm fortunate enough to have a very loving and supporting wife that supports me and is the backstone of a lot of my passion and the things that I do. But then we also have 3 daughters that provide that reality check to keep us grounded. And they're a little diverse on ages, but it's that fun life of having a teenager right now at the house, along with having a 3-year-old. So constant energy around all of our efforts. And when the LBAA, when our paths crossed last year at this lake, we were really left with a positive experience from all of the anglers. We continue to stay in contact with many anglers. We obviously continue to follow the tournaments and the activities of the series and association through that. But we try to have a feeling of family in a lot of the things that we do, whether it's a business endeavor or just some of our other things. And the LBAA fit into that, where it was almost an instant extension of family. And so when Secret and Cheryl approached myself about, hey, would you be willing to do this? you instantly think about, well, what are the repercussions of maybe adding, 10 more people to your dining room table, 10 more in-laws, and all the different things that does to your schedule, your daily schedules. But at the end of the day, it was something that, again, for the love of the LBAA itself, and more importantly, the appreciation of all the anglers that fish the LBAA, that we were willing to add to our plate. I was introduced to the LBAA, or what turned into the LBAA, in the early 2000s. In a previous professional life, I had the opportunity to actually fish a celebrity Pro-Am tournament with an event in Nashville, Tennessee. That was the Country Music Festival. And I had a chance to fish with a young lady by the name of Jenny Nevins, who Jenny now is in Dayton, Tennessee, with Lake Chickamauga as her home lake. And just had one of the best experiences that I've ever had on a lake fishing with her. So it was a completely different mindset for me with the stories and the laughs that we had. And because of that initial experience with Jenny, I had followed not only her career as she went through the LBAA and other things that she chose to fish, but then also the other anglers that obviously that she was involved with and the different opportunities there. So it's kind of almost 20 years, I guess, in the making from being introduced, to lady bass fishing. But at the same time, it's something that as life creates some neat circles where your paths cross again. So we're proud to kind of, take the reins, so to speak. I know Cheryl and Secret will continue to answer a lot of questions and be involved as things obviously arise. But I was also fortunate enough to pass the crawls last year with another young man who I mentioned previously, but Travis Birch is his name. And Travis also has a unique background. His background currently is that he heads up one of the BASS Youth Nation programs for the state of Kansas. And that, again, we talk about family. That was something that was eye-opening to me. Someone, that has that passion, that loves the outdoors and loves to fish, but loves to teach it and loves to be a part of this series that essentially can create a legacy or create those positive experiences for anglers of all experience levels. And then Travis also has another touring series by the name of the World Fishing Tour that he was looking to develop, and that's where Travis and I met. Was he brought the World Fishing Tour to Bull Shoals last summer, and I had a chance to fish that series with him, obviously as the tournament director. And again, similar feeling to when I fished with Jenny Nevins, but just absolutely floored with the professionalism level, the attention to detail that he was putting into his tournament series. And that's where the light bulb went off to say, hey, this would be a person that Cheryl and Secret would really like to add to the LBAA toolbox, that could be an advocate for the lady angler and all those that are looking to be involved with the lady anglers. And so after discussions, Travis also agreed to kind of come on board and partner, and we'll get a chance to, I think, talk to Travis a little bit later in a few weeks, when hopefully we can announce schedules and kind of the evolution of the LBAA. But at the same time, it's one of those that, again, if you can put the right people in the right places, I think positive things will happen. And I think Travis and the rest of his family and his team is definitely a good resource and the right people to take LBAA from the executional level in our lakes that we know and love, to give all anglers a positive experience. And Jennifer and my family, we will continue to support where we can. We will be on the road some, but we'll probably still stay, based here at Bull Shoals for the most part. But be working a little more behind the scenes on sponsorships and, hopefully recruiting new anglers into the series, and putting forth our blood and sweat and tears again into other components to help hopefully grow LBAA and keep everyone that fishes it, at that, saying that this is the best series, that this is the series that they want to fish. And if they meet someone who is interested in fishing, that they can be the best advocate for the LBAA and be the best recruiter out there.
I am super excited to see the future. I think this, change is always scary, but based on what you've said and what I've heard, I think it's a very positive change. And, that's what we all want. We want to see the sport grow. We want a place for women to be able to fish at this level and be comfortable. And it's the camaraderie, the family, it's so relieving to hear that it's not going to go away. So thank you for stepping in, and Travis, and we will be talking to Travis and share another episode with you guys so you can kind of hear a little bit more detail on the schedule for the next year and just, how things are going to be run. And so really looking forward to that, but I'm excited. And I think a lot of the other ladies are excited as well. So
it'll be a fun adventure for sure. So we had a chance this week to listen to a lot of feedback from the anglers, a lot of positive feedback of things that they really appreciate about the LBAA. But at the same time, some things that, okay, if we have a blank page, what might be some things that can help facilitate the lady bass angler. So again, lots more to come, but hopefully we will put out a format in a way that addresses the few concerns that may be out there, but at the same time, open doors for those that maybe currently aren't fishing with the series to maybe understand why they aren't fishing with the series, but provide that gateway for that experience. Because we really feel like we have a group of anglers here that once you fish with the series, we hope that angler will stay with the series, have that positive experience. So our hardest challenge will be to get that anglers to take the first step. And so this is a call out to everyone that listens to this, that if you are an angler that is looking for an experience that maybe you haven't taken that first step yet, or maybe you have a youth that hasn't done that, or just a friend, to at least educate them, to take step one and just educate them that this series is out there, that it is something to at least be an option to get there, and that experiences are welcome or people of all experiences are welcome. So if it's someone that hasn't fished a tournament before, they can be just as at home as a non-boater, as someone who maybe fishes a weekend derby every year, but would also like to travel a little bit more to maybe get off their home body of water and see different bodies. So we'll be knocking on doors. We'll be trying to find those anglers. We'll be trying to find the sponsors that would like to reach out to this awesome group of ladies to be a part of that. And with Travis's connections with the youth program, we'll obviously be looking, probably to college anglers, maybe to some high school anglers, again, to get them involved. And so again, if you hear this and you're involved in youth fishing, be ready, because we're going to be coming, your way with some education and opportunities. And there may even be some, scholarships available to hopefully, again, allow those first steps to be taken, to provide a great experience for everyone.
Great. Well, like I said, just really looking forward to it. I just want to thank you and Jennifer for your hospitality for the LBAA. All the ladies, I didn't hear one negative thing. We love Anchor Point. We love that, we camp. So there's a campground there, which is super convenient. Majority of the ladies were able to keep their boats in the water all week at the marina. That makes things just so much easier because you don't have to deal with launching every day. I like to, go down and work on my tackle, and you got a roof over your head so you're not sitting in the hot sun or in the element, if it's raining or whatever. It's just been such an enjoyable experience, and the restaurant is amazing. The food, absolutely delicious. I've had a variety of things on the menu this week. They're all the best I've ever had. So I get to sit and watch the football game this afternoon and enjoy some pizza. So I'm looking forward to that. Haven't tried the pizza yet, but I've heard it's really, really good. So just all around great place to have a tournament. Great place to just go. There's cabins there as well. and just, have a great week on Bull Shoals Lake. It's a beautiful, beautiful lake. So if you're ever in the area, Peel, Arkansas, Anchor Point Resort, excellent place for a family vacation, just to go do some recreational fishing. Definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.